Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Johnny Davis Live. We're here on this December 13th. That's right, Friday the 13th. I ain't scared, right? We're here today. We're going to have a chat with some of our fighters who participated at the Harris Cherokee Casino this past weekend. It's a lot of fun. Some interesting things. We obviously made a couple of changes and everything. As you can see on the screen, coming up in March, we're going to be back at the Landmark Resort. So I'll talk a little bit more about that in just a little bit. A lot of good information coming up, and I'll tell you why that is the way it is and what we decided to do. We have several guests on today. Our lineup is pretty interesting. We have, let me see, can I get our names? You can read it right there on the screen. Mr. Sean Briggs out of Collinsville, Illinois. Speaking Mr. Jacob Gonzalez out of Texas, Mr. David DJ Jackson out of Charlotte, North Carolina. I think later coming on, Mr. Deuce Carter. He's out of Asheville, North Carolina. So a pretty nice lineup there of, good chat conversation. You know me, Johnny Davis Live, always real talk with real solutions. So we will be kind of diving in a little bit with those guys for the time that we have. But before we get to them, we want to chat a little bit more about what has happened with our change and why we decided to do that. I want to put that up there first on the screen. That is Harris Cherokee Casino. Okay. A beautiful, beautiful, beautiful facility. Okay. I want to be absolutely clear about the facility is beautiful. I also want to be absolutely clear about the people there. The people there are just some of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Okay. That is just a fact. And I really enjoyed being out there, and I hope to eventually go back out there again. Okay. That's just a fact. It's a beautiful place. They got great food. They have great people and everything. It's great for a vacation, a weekend getaway, right? If you want to go and hang out, somewhere, get away with your wife, for a weekend and, treat and splurge, some high-end restaurants and stuff. Hey, Harris Cherokee Casino is the place to go. It's beautiful out there and all. It's not a destination. It is a destination when you're inside the big, huge casino, but Cherokee itself is not a destination, okay? Like Myrtle Beach or Las Vegas. When you go, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta have money in your pocket. You gotta be ready to rock and roll with those prices and all, and have a great time. So I just want to be clear about what I discovered after two events following two hurricanes. All right, that the people who support our tournament, because they're passionate and they love to fight, they will go to whatever means to try to get there and to try to be a part of the event. But what I saw was struggle. I saw it from different levels, from the trainers to the fighters. A lot of our fighters, you got to understand, have big families or they're in college and they're struggling, but they love to fight. My ambition, yeah, I want to be that guy. I want to, promote this thing to that next level. Like we're going to be in Vegas in July with the World Classic, but it's cheaper in Vegas, to be honest with you, because it's a destination. So I want to be that guy. But after I looked at it and I saw what had happened and people, it was a fight night. Let me be clear. It was not a tournament. It was a fight night. So we expected it to be smaller. But the bottom line is that if people can't afford to come out there, and they can't afford it when they get out there. I saw people hanging out in their cars because they didn't have a room or whatever the case might be. And I just can't do that. And so when they can't come, then I don't have the support. And then it's expensive for me, right? And all. And so I have to look at that. And so I had to have a conversation with Harris and they were understood, where we're coming from and all, and we'll make things right. We're going to move forward. But before I even called, I started getting, information from, I didn't get it. They reached out to us and back at the Landmark, and it was ironic. And they wanted us back. They wanted us to come back and everything. And they said, da, 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 da. So I said, good, it sounds like that's something we need to do. And most of the people that I've spoken to about going back to the Landmark are very excited about it. Listen, it's not a 5-star hotel. Let's be clear. It's not a 5-star. It's 2.5-star, 3-star hotel. But I will tell you, it is affordable and the rooms are nice enough, and you won't be sleeping out in your car, right? They have Starbucks there. They have, nice restaurants. They have an indoor pool, for the kids and everything to play in. I mean, it's not that bad of a hotel at all. Okay, I just want to be clear. They have, as I said, I'll shoot up a couple of pictures here of some of the things that looks nice. I mean, like I said, the pool area is nice. The chicken wings are nice. They have good food. I mean, a lot of reasons to go back. And the great thing about it is that the rooms, everybody knows, my rooms at the casino were like, my rate was 260. That was my rate, right? 260, right? And for those who are not going to love them, $500+, right? That's too much for a tournament. It's too much when you're going to go and then got to pay your light bill or your phone bill on Monday, right? And that's what I'm saying. And this is why I want people to understand exactly why I made this call for obviously my company as well as for the sport. And look, I tried. I went out there. I had to fill it out. I had to, to see what was right for us, what was right for, the tournament, for the people that support us and everything. And, it just didn't work out, So I moved forward. I have this thing called failing forward, right? You fall short, you just learn your lessons, you take your bruises, you get up and you keep moving. So I always say fail forward and forward march as a result of that. Okay, so a little bit of information on the IKF Spring Classic. We have the date from March the 14th through the 16th. It's going to be at the Landmark Resort. Same type of competition, men, women, and juniors. Registration is open now. People can register. You can open up your divisions. We have 5 rule styles. We're going to have international rules, unified rules, modified Muay Thai, full rule Muay Thai with elbow, and we're going to do the freestyle kickboxing. So all of those rule styles are going to be available. We'll give out nice belts. We got nice trophies and cups. We're also going to have the PKB there again as well. Always. The PKB is really exciting. PBSC, that will also be there for that weekend, probably be on that Saturday on March the 15th. So a reason to bring your entire team out, guys. And I'm telling you, the room rates, they're giving like another $30 off than what we paid before. So you'll be paying way under $100 for your rooms and stuff like that, which is pretty darn exciting, right? So go ahead and get registered, ikffightplatform.com. You'll see all the information there. The links and everything's already there. We hope we're going to have a great turnout. Hope you guys are going to come out and support this. Those of you who saw the other tournament as way, way, way too far to travel 8 hours. In North Carolina, you could travel 7 hours and still not be there, right? At the casino. So again, we're at the Landmark, March 14th, 16th. Go ahead and get registered right now. We're also going to be doing super fights, right? Our super fights or, certified titles in particular, where we have champions that we're going to have our people reaching out to. We want you to come back and defend your titles if you wanted on one of the last a couple of shows or even last year or whatever. If it's a certified IKF title, we're going to be contacting you to defend that title. But don't wait for us to contact you. You can contact us, right? All the information is on the screen, my email address and the phone number and all, because we want to have a lot of title defenses. We're going to have a super bang out, lights, camera, action. And by the way, the ballroom is really nice there at the Landmark. So we hope that you'll start contacting us, start reaching out and everything. We're going to start putting some our certified champions in a bracket, if you will, and all. And then if you got the right person to come and match those fighters up, all right, let's go and let's do it. Let's have a good time on March 14th through the 16th back in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina at the Landmark Resort. Look forward to seeing you and your team there. If you have any questions, just please reach out to me. I look forward to talking to you guys. All right, guys, without any further ado, have a young man here who I think I just met. I think he's supposed to have been on the show like a few weeks ago or something like that, and like we never really got a chance to connect. I don't know exactly what went down there and everything, but we're gonna figure it out. I'm gonna put that's the picture of Sean Briggs right there. This guy can fight, y'all. He's a tough little fella. He ain't that little either, by the way. But we're gonna bring him up. Please welcome Sean Briggs.
How's it going, sir?
How you
How's it
doing?
going? Pretty good. Just got off work, ready to get back to training. I'm literally in my little basement. Got a whole wrestling room and everything here.
Oh wow! So you have a gym and everything.
Yep. I got
At your
punching
place.
bags. I got everything.
Wow. That's convenient.
Yeah, I just have to go downstairs and I'm chilling.
Oh, okay. Well, man, boy, I tell you, that's fortunate and everything. I remember when I was coming up and I was fighting. Closest thing I had a very cold garage right in the wintertime,
Yeah,
right? For the concrete
I started
there.
there.
Or I would, yeah. Or I would be in the backyard and everything, punching a coca sack, and
Yep,
stuff like that.
yep, yep.
I came up, really the hard way. Tell me a little bit, Sean, about first of all what you thought of the event this past weekend.
Oh, it was amazing. It was a great atmosphere all the way through the tournaments. We had a bunch of guys in the tournaments and in the super fights. It was amazing. Great staff, great hotel. I loved every second of it.
All right, good. Well, we certainly appreciate it and everything. I mean, that is what we want to try to offer and give people as well. Now, listen. Now, I'm going to jump around here a little bit. I'm kind of keep this thing on time. But one thing I noticed in your fight, right? Before I go there, though, you said you found a new love.
Yeah, yeah.
While you were at the event. Tell me
So we
about it.
had we had Trey Lewis originally had the first fight. You guys offered him, and the that rule set. And my coach had told me, and I was when I grew up, I did like freestyle wrestling and was always a wrestler.
Oh,
And as soon as he told me, I was like, oh, that rule set's made for me. I would love to do that.
right.
And then you guys ended up shooting across the opponent you did, and I loved it. That was the greatest thing ever. It was kind of like met perfect with MMA. I did MMA before I did kickboxing and everything.
Right.
It was great. I loved every second of it.
Good. What did you like about it most? What was it that really just kind of lit your fire?
I always kind of wanted. So I watched like ONE FC, and I see him do the Muay Thai fights in the little gloves. And ever since I seen that, I've always wanted to do that. And then this
Uh,
kind of mixed in the freestyle wrestling that is like second nature to me. So
uh-huh.
it was kind of like I got to punch people and still throw people, and it was right up my alley, man. I loved it.
How awkward was it for you to transition though? Because normally you're just doing all like say, well, you MMA, so maybe not as much of a change for you, but it does have to take a little bit of transitioning from thinking about striking and kicking, then all of a sudden grabbing. Because I'm not an
Well,
MMA
see,
fighter, so maybe this might be a lot more comfortable for you.
so I went from MMA, and then on one of Chad's stand-up cards, I did a couple Muay Thai fights. But for me, the clinch was always weird because anytime I get close, I'm just used to grabbing and throwing people. So then,
Right.
like to change my mind into just grabbing and attacking from there was always kind of a weird transition for me. And then with this, I didn't even have to worry about that because as soon as they grab me, I can just toss them.
Right. Well, in one of those tosses, as you call it, you pretty much gone knocked yourself out. Now, I don't know if anybody else saw that,
Yes,
but I saw it and I said, well, darn it, he
yes.
can almost knock himself out without. Tell me what happened there.
I was supposed to twist the other way. So realistically, he had his hand around the back of my head, kind of like a big brother headlock type thing.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to turn the other way to where we landed on him, but I was so focused on slamming him through the canvas that I just twisted the way it felt normal. And next thing I know, I seen stars for a second, and I seen him stepping in, and then I threw a 1-2, and we were back to fighting after that.
Right. So it did daze you pretty good. I mean, was it like
Oh yeah,
I know we said about the mat, could be like used as a weapon, right? And we saw what
Yep.
Cha used that a little
Yeah.
later as a weapon. I mean, he would take those guys and slamming them down on the mat. But in this case, you slammed your own
Yeah.
head on the mat.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of gave me. I seen stars for, I think, a good like 10 seconds or so, and then after that, kind of just shook it off and kept going.
What do you think about your opponent?
He was tough, man. He kicked like a mule. I do
Oh,
know that. There was in the first round. He kicked me one good time. I had my previous fight. I had taken with a broken rib, and I think it was like the third kick he threw landed right on that same rib, and I
oh,
kind of hunched over, and I thought in my head, I was like, man, you're not going back down to another body shot. Bite down and do something about it. And in training, I'm always real good about catching kicks and sweeping and stuff like that.
right,
That's to me, I always looked at it as that's a single leg. Once you catch a leg, that's a single leg
right,
takedown.
right.
So I always kind of feel at home once I got a leg. So I just kind of thought in my head, I was like, man, what are you doing? You got to start catching these. Then after that, I kind of woke me up a little bit. But man, he kicked like a mule. He was tough. He was real nice and cool after the fight. We sat and talked, but it was a good time.
I know that. How long have you been training with Chad?
So I started out at Matt Hughes's gym here in Granite City with
Mhm.
it's called the Hit Squad. And then Chad's been a blessing, man. They one day I went in there to train, and they had a sign up on the door saying they were closing down. Had the doors locked, nobody could get in.
Right.
I was kind of bummed out about it for a while, and I got a random message from Chad, who was his gym was literally 2 minutes from my house, and he welcomed me to come in, and he knew I didn't have nowhere to go, and he welcomed me to come in and train with
Wow.
him, and that was about I'd say 5-6 years ago or
Oh,
something,
wow.
and I just fell in love with the way that he loved to help people on and off the mat. There's multiple talks me and him have had of just helping me every little way he can, man. He's a blessing to me, I swear.
Oh, good, 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 good. So what you're really saying that he's a nice guy.
He's amazing. He's amazing. He's a great coach. He knows when to be hard. He knows how to. Me personally, I'm kind of hard headed, and
Right.
he knows how to talk to me in a way that I listen. And man, he's just been great all around. He always welcomes me in the gym anytime I come. Anytime I need somewhere just to blow off some steam, he's
Right.
always there to help me.
That's awesome. That's well. I first of all, I know Chad is a great guy. So but so I can totally
Yeah. Oh
understand
yeah.
how you feel about him. Well, what does the future hold for you, Sean? What would you like to do next?
Man, I'd like to keep doing these freestyle kickboxing fights. Like I said, they're kind of right up my alley. I like the little gloves. I really like slamming people, as you could tell.
Yeah.
I really want to. I really want to keep going in those and see how they go. I was kind of eyeballing that Vegas card you were talking
Right.
about, and was kind of gonna. I'm gonna do. We have one of them tournaments here in St. Charles. I
Mhm.
think in January, and I'm gonna help a couple teammates out doing that, and then I'm starting camp probably next week to get ready for whatever's next. I'm ready
Right.
to do whatever.
Well, we'd love to have you. Like I said, we are doing the freestyle kickboxing in the IKF World Classic in Las Vegas this summer in July, and all. And say, hey man, plan to come down.
Yes,
Obviously,
sir.
we got March too if you want to come over. I mean, for the spring, but that's the
Yes,
idea.
sir, man.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do as many as I
Oh,
can.
well, good, good. Well, we definitely love what you did. We loved your energy and everything. And I hope to definitely have you back at a tournament and competing and doing what you love to do and what we love to see you doing. Give a shout out to your gym as we close out
Yes,
here.
sir. Man, Maryville Muay Thai, I'm telling you, and All Saints in St. Charles, they're both owned by Chad. Great group of people. Literally, they push me harder than I've ever been pushed in any gym I've been to. They're all nice. We, I don't know, couldn't say enough nice things about them, man. The whole group, as you've seen, we all come to fight. We're all ready. We never say no to a fight. It's amazing. I love that atmosphere there.
Awesome, awesome. Sean, tell Chad I said hello. I'm sure we'll probably be talking soon, but tell him I said hello. And thanks again for being on another edition of Johnny Davis Live. All right, Sean. Talk to you later,
Thank you,
brother.
sir,
Thanks
for
so
the
much. All right.
opportunity. I
Good job.
appreciate it.
Good job.
See ya.
All
Bye.
right, ladies and gentlemen, there he was, Sean Briggs. There, he's our new East Coast champion for freestyle. The guy can fight. I'm telling you, he's a tough cookie. Anybody gets in the ring with that fella right there, they better be ready to go, right? Because he can really, really fight and all. And we love seeing him and doing what he loves to do as well. Okay, all right. So without any further ado, we're going to keep it rolling. We're going to go ahead and bring up our next guest there. He's been waiting patiently. We've had him on before. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jacob Gonzalez. How you doing there, sir?
I'm good, chilling. I'm in my coach's office right now. I just finished training like right before I hopped on here, so I didn't get
Yeah,
to
for
go
sure,
home.
for sure. Jacob got his hair all down and
Yeah,
everything. Jacob, I just want you to know, I think you a beast.
I do too. Thank you.
Ah! I think you are a beast. Now, listen here, man. You went out there and let's talk a little bit about your opponent. Okay.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when you sized up Deuce?
Uh, it's funny. I actually told him this too. If you talking about sizing up, I didn't really do too much research or nothing, but I saw
Right,
his Instagram and I thought he was tall. Like I could have swore he was way
right,
taller than what he
right,
was, like off the internet. And then when we got up in front of each other at the weigh-ins, I was like, hold up, this fool ain't that tall. He's probably like a little bit bigger than me. And then so I think that's why I did a lot of the different things that I usually don't do in my fights because he was someone more my frame. So I was able to do
yeah,
some spinning stuff, catching those kicks, doing all some, and I mean that's honestly gave me a little bit more confidence once I first met him. 'Cause I was like, oh, I had been training to fight a tall dude this whole time. Like
right,
I thought I was about to be getting poked with a tee,
right,
blocking elbows, and all kinds of stuff.
right,
So honestly, but I wasn't. I didn't. I knew he was a good guy. I saw his record like the day of. I was like, oh, he's 13-2. So obviously he's good. I saw he got a knockout like a few weeks before.
right,
But my purpose of doing this is always to test myself and fighting the best competition that I can. So that kind of stuff is just what makes me show up, want
right.
to do it even more. And yeah, no, I knew he was from his hometown, so I knew
Yeah,
that if I was gonna win, I had to do shining bright performance. I
right.
couldn't let nothing slip because that what happens happens. And then yeah, no, I just
What was the first thing that he did to you, or did period, that made you think that he was going to be a tough fight for you?
uh that he did. Oh, I mean, it was his obviously he's southpaw, and I came out orthodox, and he threw it right out. I was like, oh yeah, we not playing that game. So I ended up being southpaw the whole fight too. I was like, yeah, no, because I noticed as soon as I switched orthodox, that left kick is coming. He's 13-2. Southpaw's
Yeah.
his stance. That's his move. Obviously, going straight through the
Right,
middle for
right,
that body kick. I was like, no, we not playing that no more. And I guess his like herky jerkiness of like he said he watched a lot of Prince Nassim Muhammad for this camp, so I'm like, oh, it makes
yeah,
sense. He's moving his head around and stuff. I missed by this much on a few of them head kicks, landed some
right,
of
yeah,
those
yeah, yeah.
because of that. Um, yeah, no, it didn't really surprise me though. I kind of knew that was his style. It didn't surprise me, and I think I knew he was gonna be good. I knew he was gonna be strong,
Right.
and yeah,
But
no,
but
I knew
but
that.
something happened, Jacob. Something
Yes,
happened along. He came out strong. Probably took the first couple of rounds.
yeah,
With his movement, landed some shot. But I was right there ringside, and I saw
yeah,
something happen along the third round.
yeah.
What did you notice in the third round?
Um, it wasn't really more of a noticing thing. It was more of a, so let me go back. So
Okay.
like you said, Cherokee is tough to get to. There isn't a lot of gyms. There isn't a lot of stuff to do. So my weight cut, I had to do majority of my weight cut in the
Ah,
bath, in the hot bath, because the sauna at the gym
ah,
I went to last time was broken. And I felt like in my previous fights when I do that bath, it takes me a little bit longer to get warmed up.
right,
And honestly, this is the first time in a fight where I went in and I didn't feel adrenaline until later in the fight. Like the
right.
first kick he threw, I felt it. I was like, oh, I felt that on my leg. And then
Ah,
as the round, like you said, it wasn't that I noticed within him, that I noticed it within me. And then I was
right,
like, all right, now I just gotta throw because I'm warmed
right,
up now and my adrenaline started going up. I was like, all right. And then that's really what, and obviously it was me slowing him down a little bit in the clinch, letting him exert all that energy because that style that he has, it's a hard style to maintain for 5 rounds. So I knew that coming in as well. And that's
Why,
really
why do
what
you
my
say that,
mindset
Jacob?
was. Because
Why do you say the style that he has? Break that down a little bit more. It's hard to
because I
maintain.
mean, if you know fighting, right? It's a sprint. You can't. There's a select amount of guys that can sprint 5 rounds, and even then, they're still tired when they're sprinting.
Right.
So like that style of doing a lot of movement and herking and jerking and then entering that clinch is really creating that lactic acid. And then once you don't have that same pop, that same step, and then you notice that as the round goes on, then they start throwing with more power. They're hitting air. They're out of position. They get hit. It starts creating that oxygen in your blood flow. And if you don't prepare for that, if you don't train for that, which most people don't with that style, they're a finisher style, so they don't last towards the end. And that's really what my idea was going in. I didn't know much about him, but I knew how he was going to come in with the mentality that he had. He got to finish. He's going to come try to finish me. My record's 5-4. If he finished some other guy, he's going to think I'm a slouch. I knew that. I knew all of that coming in, and I knew that for my victory, it was going to be towards the later third round. Exactly. I really pictured in that third round it shifting his turn, and I felt like it did. And yeah.
Yeah, because I definitely saw that, and that's why again I always talk about having more rounds and fights.
Yes.
You know, because it goes into those championship rounds. But he he held his own. He did a pretty good job in holding his own and everything. And if I had to I don't like to get into the judges. I think they probably got it right. I think he definitely edged it out. There was a split decision. So most people don't agree with a split decision, but I think that was right. It was right because but it also showed your grit and your guts and how tough you are and everything. I mean, good. And you look at your analogy right now, how you breaking this thing down. I started seeing you landing some right hands, and stuff like that. And I started seeing a shift in his eyes. That's what I was looking at. I know you said you shifted, right?
Yeah, but I saw that too. Yeah.
I saw him shift a little bit like, whoa, and I'm going to talk to him, hopefully, if he gets on before we sign off here today, a little bit about that, what he thought, because he saw something in you, because you were picking up as he was slowing down. Would you agree?
Yes, sir, absolutely. And that's funny because this camp, like I said, I thought I was facing somebody tall. So that's my mentality. I can't be playing on that outside. I have to go forward. And like even in my training, like you call me a beast, and like my Sunday sparring where I go, all my training partners, there's like, that boy's a demon. Like he just doesn't stop coming forward. Like, and I'm like, I didn't really get what they meant until this fight. I'm like, like that's really what it is, huh? Like you got to tap into that, and that's really something that I had in my mind for this fight too. I didn't want a finish. I truly wanted, because in my last fight, in that fifth round, it was kind of the opposite of what happened this time.
Right.
I had pneumonia in that fight as well, so that fifth round I felt really gassed, and he came towards me, and that kind of left me with a chip on my shoulder. I was like, nah, I want to finish. If I'm gonna be a champion, I gotta be able to finish at the end strong, at least at any fight, and that's really what I went. I had about 4 weeks to prepare for this one too. It was a quick turnaround, so I was like, technique and all that. We was just drilling. We was just going through. My mentality was red line, pushing it to a new pace so that this next fight I could start at that pace. And build off of that.
Wow, man, you have such a great analogy on this stuff like that. I still, as I said, I think you're a beast and everything. What would you think about a potential of a rematch?
I mean, I'm down for that too. If he wants to do it, I would do it. Or honestly, like I remember when I talked to you after my last fight, I told you if you guys had like the 27 top end of the weight class, because this one I'm looking at the belt right now, it says 27 to 32. Is there like a 22 to 27 weight class or something that you guys have? Because my plan is to go professional, and professional I'd probably do 25. So I'm trying to work my way down to those weight classes and stuff, and see if I could do that just to keep sharp. But if the rematch is the one thing that I do, I'm definitely down for that too. But whatever you got for me, I'm gonna show up and pull out. I'm planning to do the March one, especially now that I know is that Myrtle Beach? Where is that? That's easier to get to.
Yeah, have you been to Myrtle Beach before?
No, sir. North Carolina. First time I ever went was Cherokee. So
you're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. It's a destination place. It has everything, all the food. And if you don't want to eat in a restaurant, you can go to Burger King, go down. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the beach, right? It's the boardwalk. It's all the other stuff that happens at the beach. That's why I've been there. I was 6 or 7 years I've been there, right? And I tried something else. It didn't work out for me. But, like I said, they welcomed us back with open arms. And also look, like the money that you spend there, I mean, like it is just like day and night. I mean, you'd be paying a quarter of, not even a quarter of the rooms. Price for the rooms in there. And so that's why I made this move. I was talking to a guy this morning on text who has a lot of kids and everything. And man, they struggle to get to these events. They do GoFundMe's and all that. I mean, they probably still do that, but this is so much more convenient. So that's why we made that move.
I've always said that about that.
Yeah, so we'll love to have you if you open up a division now. and everything. Open up a division. Now, people might think twice before they enter it with you. but the bottom line is they know that you're the real deal and
Yeah,
everything. And or if Deuce is available, we can even talk about a possible rematch. I think that'd be
yeah,
great. And then
yes,
whoever
sir.
wins that, then step them up to the next title.
Yes,
And stuff like that. That would be kind of my proposal
yeah,
live on the air right now
uh-huh.
is to maybe consider that and see if that's even a possibility for this. I don't know what its availability is. I have no
Yes,
idea.
sir.
And all that. If not,
Absolutely.
just end of the tournament and everything, and just go from there. But listen, again, you're a warrior. I appreciate you coming all the way from Texas to help us
Yes,
out
sir.
and be the champion that I think you are and everything. Give a shout out to your gym before we close out
Thank
here,
you. So
Jacob.
it's Aces Jiu Jitsu Club. Yeah, it's a funny name for a Muay Thai guy, but Muay Thai is
Yeah.
our thing. Aces Jiu Jitsu Club in the north side of Houston. We have some in Austin as well. But come here, you're gonna learn some real Muay Thai. We got the Jiu Jitsu too, but it's really Muay Thai. And yeah, and once again, I just want to say, like I did the last time I had my thing, LHG, which stands for love, humility, and gratitude. I just want to say, especially after this one, I'm really tapping into the G part of gratitude, of being so blessed. Like you said, these people can't come to these tournaments, and I'm coming from a whole another state. I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to even do this stuff. Win,
Right.
lose, or draw, I'm performing. I'm grateful to even be able. 2 years ago, I just started competing actually. So
Wow.
for me to be at this
Wow.
level, from where I come from, my background, no sports, no nothing. I'm just so grateful to even be able to still be talking to you right now and to be able to continue forward, be back training in a week. And for everybody who probably watching this who didn't win, just stay grateful and just continue forward. Like you said, fail forward and forward march. That's what I've been telling
Hell,
myself too.
man, I said, Jacob, my God, boy, I like you, man. I like you, man. You're smart. You're smart.
Thank
Got
you.
a great head on your shoulder, man. You're gonna leave an indelible impression in this sport, right?
Yes,
And
sir.
it doesn't matter about all the time winning. It's just who you are as a person and all. And I think that even being a trainer with the philosophies that I hear, you're gonna make an excellent trainer
Yes,
someday if that's a direction you decide to go
yes,
in.
sir.
Jacob
Thank you.
Gonzalez, thanks so much, sir. We'll see you again
Thank y'all.
soon. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Former champion there, but I think he's going to be champion again. I mean, at some point down the road, this guy got everything that you need to be a champion. He has a champion spirit, he has a champion heart, and a champion mentality. I love it. I love it. All right, let's see what else we have here in the lobby today, guys. I thought I saw David Jackson, DJ, but I don't see his picture, so I'm going to put him up on the screen. I'm going to see if anything shows.
Hey, Johnny,
He's
you see
there,
me?
David! DJ! Jackson! He's in the house. How are you, man?
Yes, sir, I'm all right. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. I'm so glad that you're on with us today. I did not get a chance to talk to you before, the fight, the last fight, and
Right.
everything. And I definitely wanted to do that. But you are kind of like, and excuse the expression, like a dark horse. I don't. You look like you're going in and out a little bit on your screen, but that's okay. You're good. You're good. I don't, David. I don't know where you came from. I don't know where you came from. You're going to have to explain to me where did you come from. Tell me a little bit about your past, your history, how you got started in this game, man.
I've been around for a while. I actually got my start in full contact with IKF.
What?
I did a couple PKBs back in 2021,
Wow.
and then I did East Coast Classic. It was a fall East Coast Classic at the end of that, and that kicked off my entire career right there.
So you were
But
basically, okay. So your trainer's Ty Bradley, right?
yes, sir. Yep.
From day one.
No, I had actually been training since I was about 8 years old, but I got
Okay.
serious about when I was about 12.
Okay.
I started training karate and boxing. My dad got me into karate, and my dad had also boxed in the Air Force.
Wow.
And he wanted to make sure that I knew how to defend myself from bullies at school and everything. So,
Yeah.
I took it real serious once I hit the age of 12, and I started doing point competitions, point karate type stuff. So my background is karate. I'm a karate guy.
Ah,
Yes, sir.
now
Yep.
that's what it is.
Now you
Because
see it.
I'm like, wait a minute here. Why have I? And you've been to my PKBs, but Ty Bradley, first of all, brings an army when he comes. And so he has so many
Always.
people mixed
They
in
come in
that.
full
I can't
force.
keep up with him, right? It's just a bunch of people. But when you said point karate, I was looking at the way you were fighting, the movement, the angles, and the pecker, and I mean, and doing it in a way that was making your opponent miss, and you were catching them off guard at these different angles. And I tell you, I was sitting there impressed. I was like, man, who is this guy? Well, I knew you had to be pretty good because of your record, right? What's your record? Like 7-2? What is it?
It's like technically I'm about 12-3 now, 12-4.
Okay, right. Well, something like
but
something.
my
Well,
IKF
we got to
record
get.
is now
Well,
8-1.
technically, DJ, we got to get your record right on the platform.
Right, we do.
right?
Yeah, we need to update that.
You need to update that. Okay, you need to update it.
Yeah.
So, but I'm telling you, the movement and everything was very impressive. What did you think about your opponent? I mean, he was strong. First of all, his calves were like that big.
Yeah.
Brandon's calves are like that little. And I'm like, we might have a problem child.
Yeah, he was a stocky dude. I mean, I saw him. I was like, oh yeah, he's stockier than I had imagined. I knew he was short, but when I saw him physically, I was like, oh yeah, he got a little something to him. So I'm gonna have to kick a little bit harder, move a little faster, because who knows what this guy might have, in his back pocket.
Right. But you were really like moving around a lot, had good footwork, like I said, good angles and everything. When did you see that you might have an advantage over him to some degree?
I say after, I think after the second round, where he had me in the corners, hit me with some good elbows and knees, and he caught me a little bit in that clinch. I was a little bit surprised by that. I was like, okay, yeah, so this dude does know how to throw elbows. And I ate a couple, and I was like, oh yeah, this is for real. It's on now. So I came back that third round, and it just lit a fire under me. So I had something to prove, and so that's when I came out, and I was a lot more heavy on the angles and on the volume, and I was kicking a lot more, and I was just seeing more openings because I was level-headed and I was calm, and that's just how I like to fight.
I want to talk a little bit about that because I'm looking at this picture here and I'm looking at your abs, right? You just don't get abs like that. You just don't wake up in the morning and abs just fall on you like that, okay?
Right.
Talk a little bit about your preparation for this fight because you ripped.
Man, I tell you what, Ty Bradley, House of A-Lin, if you want that summer body, go to Ty Bradley because he will put you through that conditioning.
Bradley doesn't have a summer. He doesn't have a summer, but that's right, Ty. I'm talking junk about
back in the day, trust me.
But let me tell you though,
I
don't know if you heard my show like a couple of weeks ago. I was talking about Ty Bradley, right? That man is a sleeper. He's a sleeper coach. He is a sleeper coach. I tell people, do not take this guy lightly because he's kind of like, oh, yeah, talking all kind of crazy. But he's a sleeper coach. The guy knows what he's doing. Anyway, as you were.
No, I fully agree. Ty has a great system in place for all of us fighters as far as conditioning goes, as far as strategy and all that stuff. He is just a walking encyclopedia as far as his knowledge of the fight game.
Well, he's been so much time in Thailand and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. He's fought in Thailand. He knows so many people there. I mean, he lived there. But I'd say as far as our training, our conditioning, yeah, I mean, it's second to none. When you walk into House of Eight Limbs, you got to be prepared to work because our motto is no air, no breaks, no rest. It's building that mentality of never stopping and of putting in that hard work so that when you walk into that ring or cage or wherever you're going, you have the belief in yourself and the confidence to know that you put in the work to be prepared.
Tell me about when you look at that picture there on the screen, I don't know if you can see it, with your hands raised, you're yelling, you're screaming. What did that moment feel like to you?
Man, it just felt cathartic. I was just so blessed to be there because I went through a lot even going through that. I was
tell me about it.
Yeah, so I came off of fractured hand injury. So I had a sandshell tournament back in July, and I had fractured both my hands, but my right one I actually broke.
Wow.
And I was out of commission for a couple of months, and then I had to deal with some family stuff with my dad having a stroke and all that. So, I was like a little bit busy with a bunch of other stuff. And so during that time when I couldn't use my hands, I was still kicking. I was kicking, I was running, I was doing whatever I could to still stay in shape. And so, by the time my hands had fully recovered and the doc had cleared me to fight, I I was getting my rounds in at the gym, 26 rounds every time I sparred. I always made it a goal, hit 26 rounds,
Wow.
because I know that if I can go 26 rounds in here, I know I can go 5 rounds.
Yeah, for sure. That's a
Yeah.
lot. That's a
Yep.
lot. You mentioned something. I always call it Johnny Davis Live, real talk, real solutions.
Right.
I want to dive in just a little bit. Okay. You told me at the very beginning that your dad was the one who got you trained and got you all into this and all. And now you see that his health is not so good. How
Right.
does that make you feel right now? Does it motivate you, inspire you? I mean,
Yeah.
what does that do for you that your dad, the guy who probably is your idol and your role model, not doing so well?
Well, I feel like it was a return on investment, because all those years that my dad had paid for my karate classes or even my jujitsu classes, or we hit mitts in the garage and all that kind of stuff. I feel like me winning these championships is just me repaying him, and it inspires him to fight his battle against whatever illnesses he's dealing with and all that kind of stuff. And I just like being able to inspire him through this hard time the way that he inspired me to fight back against my bullies and to empower myself and embrace this journey of martial arts that I'm on right now.
So after they announced you the winner, not only did we see, I see things, David.
Mhm.
I look really close. People think I was so busy, da 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 da, but you really broke emotionally.
Mhm.
Tell me, what were you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it was cathartic because I was thinking like, man, I can't wait till my dad sees his belt, because
Mm.
I had fought so hard for that. Uh, again, I really wish I could have got that finish. It would have been the perfect storybook ending. But I feel like I put on a masterclass performance. I got a lot of eyes on me, and I show kind of the fruits of all my labor that I put in, especially coming off the hand injuries and everything too. So all of that, as well as thinking about all those moments that I spent with my dad in the garage, or my dad showing up to my point karate tournaments and all that stuff, and watching me win, and it was like finally being able to show him that all of his efforts weren't a waste, that I have been working hard to make him proud.
Right, right. That's really awesome. This was actually a certified title, wasn't it?
Right. Sure was.
Was this with the East Coast, or was it North Carolina, or what was it?
I believe they said it was a North Carolina state title.
Right, right. But it's a certified title, so
Right.
it's not like a tournament title. So I want to make sure that I personally get that right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
On the screen, because certified titles are defendable titles. Speaking of defense,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
We have the Spring Classic coming up and stuff, and Ty Bradley normally shows up there. Hopefully, he's going to show up this year and all. Have you had any thoughts about a defense?
Of course. Yeah. I'm open to defend my belt March 14th through 16th, Myrtle Beach. I'd like to come back and show why I'm the champ. But I also am very interested in that freestyle kickboxing as well.
Right.
I was helping some of my teammates prepare for that, and
Ah,
I also have competed in sand shout, which is very similar to freestyle kickboxing.
yeah, it's a
So
derivative.
right, it's a
Right.
derivative. So I would really like to compete under that rule set, win a certified title there as well. So whichever
Oh,
I'm open to, but
right, right,
I
right.
want to
Well, I mean,
expand a little
this
bit.
this freestyle thing is really kind of taking off.
Mm,
People are definitely seem to get into it because it's kind of so close to MMA, but not MMA. You know what
right.
I mean? It just gives that extra element and everything. And I think people are certainly definitely liking it and all. And I think it's going to really attract people and bring them into the game a little bit more, especially a lot of MMA guys, right? Because it allows them to actually use more of their tools. Uh, what are your overall goals in this sport, David?
Become a world champion. That's the main thing. Because I remember all the way back when I was even 13 years old, I was daydreaming in the back of my class about being a world champ. I'd be running on the street and I'd have random dudes being like, "Yo, what you training for, little man?" And I'm like, "I'm training to be a world champ." So, I just want to make little me proud one day. If I can just say that I won a world championship, that's all I'm looking for.
Well, there's no feeling in the world, I tell you like that. If you had that goal, I made the same goal at 12, and I reached it at 22,
Hmm.
and it is a great feeling, I tell you. And again, it just gives me the confidence for other things in life. Not that you might not make $1 million doing it, right?
Right.
But it will definitely give you something that you know there's nothing else in the world that you can't achieve. And all, and that's my mindset. Like I said, you have your little trip ups and your little failures and all that. Get up, brush yourself off, and keep going, right? And why I
Yes,
say
sir.
forward march. Give me a shout out to your gym. I know you've already talked about them a little bit, but give me a shout out to your gym and where they're located and your Instagram,
Right.
your social
So
media.
yeah, so my coach Ty Bradley, one of the best in the game, one of the brightest in the game, and then our offensive coordinator, Teron Bennett, very, very intelligent, works us, he puts us through all these drills and stuff to get us technically sharp, and great cornerman as well. And then we have Alicia, our footwork coordinator. She's a big part of why I'm so light on my feet, and I
Okay.
got that rhythm and everything, and you see me dancing in the back and
Did you
getting loose
say
before my
Alicia?
fights. Alicia.
Alicia, shout out to the women. Let's go.
Yes, yes, sir.
That's
Yes,
right.
sir. And my teammates from House of Eight Limbs, they helped me stay sharp for this fight camp as well. Another certified title holder, Andre Amos, he stayed after class to help us get extra rounds in, and he helped me a lot with the Muay Thai clinch stuff because I'm more of a kickboxer, but he's a great Muay Thai fighter, so he helped me to sharpen my tools in that
Was that your
arena.
first full rule fight?
No, I've had full
Oh,
rule fights before.
okay. I'm telling, because you went in like a game buster, man. But listen, it's really nice to see someone young and fresh who's willing to go out there and put in the work, and then go there and then win something like this belt that we have. Speaking of the belt, what were
Yes,
your
sir.
thoughts about that belt compared to maybe some other things you've seen or won?
Man, I'd say by far that's the best belt I ever won. I mean, I was holding on to it and I felt the weight on it. I thought I was about to fall over or something. I mean, it was ridiculous. But
Yeah. Obviously, I'm very proud of the belts. The IKF organization is very proud of our belts and everything. But we're more proud when we have people like you wearing them. To be very honest with you, and because you're a champ. You're a good guy. I can tell you're a good guy.
appreciate it.
Just a good dude and a good representation of a champion. That's what we want. We want people who are respectful, people who kids can look up to, right?
Right,
And say,
right.
I want to be like him one day. And then you have the lifestyle and everything that proves it. Look here, man, David, thanks so much for being on the show today, man. And thanks for participating in our event. And we're going to probably have somebody reaching out to you to talk about March and see what we can get going. Okay, sir?
Yes, sir. All right, appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, David Jackson. Thanks, brother. Talk to you later, sir. All right, good job. All right, we were just talking with Mr. David Jackson there. We were waiting on Mr. Deuce Carter. He said he had something going on today. I could probably bet you right now he's probably somewhere like stuck in traffic or something and everything and can't get to that system, and that is okay. But I just want to give him a shout out. Man, Deuce Carter is a tough fighter. He went out there, he did his thing. He fought Mr. Jacob Gonzalez. I mean, it was a tough fight too. It was no joke. I mean, he took some and he gave some. And I think the crowd was one of the best fights of the whole tournament. I can tell you that right now. And so we want to just say congratulations to Mr. Deuce Carter, and we'll have him on the show again here in the future and all. And sorry you couldn't be on today, but I know that we will see you around, maybe even in Myrtle Beach and everything. So we'll be chatting about what possibly is next for you, sir. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's all I have for you today here on another edition of Johnny Davis Live. I do want to remind everyone, yes, we have moved to Myrtle Beach here for the Spring Classic. I hope you guys will certainly plan to come to this event. You can get registered right now at IKFFightPlatform.com. That's where it's all going to be happening for our Spring Classic in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, March 14th through the 16th at the Landmark Resort. Get your fighters ready. We will also have the IKF PKB, PBSC sparring tournament there. So no reason not to come. I mean, and guess what? It's the beach. All right? It's the beach. Everybody loves the beach. Come out, have a good time, and do it affordably. And I promise you, you're going to enjoy yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching yet another edition of Johnny Davis Live. Always real talk with real solutions. Always respect each other. This is Johnny Davis Live, and I'm checking out. Talk to you soon. Bye.